Hello, hello, hello. Hi there. Sari Kimball here with Food Business Success. I'm going to make sure yes, are we working? I have volume. I get nervous now after last time. All right, thanks, Dina. Okay. Hi, I am Sari Kimball. I am the creator of Food Business Success, and I help packaged food business entrepreneurs just like you start and grow their packaged food business. So that's what we do inside Food Business Success. And I just added a whole new module inside Food Business Success, all about wholesale and really expanding on what you need to approach buyers, and what is the heck is a sell sheet and what's the protocol and all of that good stuff. So I wanted to give you a little sneak peek, and of course, if you want the full, all of the inside knowledge and all of the extra things that you get, come join us inside Food Business Success. All right, so what do you do when you are ready to take your product, any one of these products behind me, right, and go into a grocery store, that you want to, get onto retail store shelves? So what do you do? Where do you start? And usually, what people want to do is not what you should be doing. So, what people usually want to do is they just want to stop in, pop in, try to talk to somebody, have their product, and then they don't know the answers that they need to know, to the questions that a buyer is going to ask them. So, the first thing, I have some samples here. And again, I go through this in great detail on exactly what you need on a sell sheet inside Food Business Success. But you're going to want to create a sell sheet. Now, they can be as fancy as something like this, right? That's got like a 4-page, really nice printed booklet. They can be something more simple. If you only have one or two products, you might just do more like a rack card size. Um, and then a lot of times when we do, I also offer design services for sell sheets. So when we do them for clients, usually we do double sided, so an 8.5 by 11 double sided sell sheet. That's going to be something like this. Sometimes, basically, well, let me tell you what a sell sheet is. So, a sell sheet is going to combine marketing, some marketing information about you and about the product, why it's so great, right? So, it's going to combine that with the information that a buyer needs to be able to place an order. So it could be something more like this, that's like picture and paragraph form. If you have a lot of products, it might be something more like this, like a spreadsheet, that's going to have a lot of information. Now, when you start getting up into larger retail, you're going to put a lot more information than you need when you're just starting out. Just see if I have another good example to show you. So this is another one that, nice front, talking about the marketing, talking about the product, and then about the product and how to order on the back. So there's definitely very specific things that you want to put on your sell sheet, and you're going to want to have all of the answers as well inside of your head. So a buyer's going to want, and I'll just back up. So when you approach a buyer, usually what people do is they're like, "Hi, buyer. I'm so and so. Here's my amazing product. It's the best salsa. It's the best bread. It's the best kombucha you've ever had. Your customers are going to love it. You got to bring this in, right?" And that's just the wrong way to go about it. So, what I want you to do is put yourself into the shoes of a buyer. What is the buyer's purpose of being there, right? Why are they hired by their store? They're hired by the store to obviously bring products in, but they are really there. Their performance is based on sales. You have to think about a store shelf like real estate. They are, they have a certain amount of real estate. There's usually not just empty shelves sitting at a grocery store, unless it's during COVID or something. But generally, we don't have empty shelves just sitting there, right? So they are making calculated decisions to what is going to get the most sales, the most revenue per square inch, right? And you guys, if you have any questions on this as I go through it, feel free to please type them into the chat. I'd be happy to answer questions. So, a buyer is going to be very discerning. And now there are going to be different levels of stores. I highly recommend when you're starting out that you start with smaller independent stores. They're going to have a lot more flexibility to bring you in on, occupy some shelf space there. Um, they're able to move things around, or maybe they have double facings or things like that. When we start getting into like Whole Foods or natural grocers or anything like that, your lead time is going to be up to a year before you ever even occupy shelf space, because they have to discontinue somebody to then bring you in. So in any case, it doesn't matter what size of store you're approaching, you need to think about this through the buyer's perspective. Why should they take a risk on your product when they have a granola that is performing perfectly fine, right? So let's just take granola. If you have a granola and they already have a shelf full of granolas, why should they move product around or pull somebody else off of the shelf? And you're a brand new producer, right? Nobody knows you. So you have to think about it in terms of that. And you really want to phrase, when you get that buyer's time, you want to think about how can you really, what you say, really address their concerns up front and really go into it with their return on value in mind. So it's not about you. I always like, it's not about you. It just is not about you. It has to be about them, and it has to be about their customers. And how are you going to be a great partner for them? How are you going to make sure that product moves? You can do all of this work, right? And then they're going to put your product, let's just say that they say yes. And you're like, great. And you're all excited. You're like, I made a sale. And then you do nothing. And then the product sits there because nobody knows what it is. And there's not a large amount of awareness. And then they're going to pull you off the shelf a couple months later, if not sooner, right? So you have to really think about it in terms of a partnership. And this is not just a one-time sale. You want this to be ongoing. You want it to grow. You want to really support them and show up for them. So I always recommend going deep, getting a couple of partners on board and babying the heck out of them. Like, you need to make sure that that product flies off the shelf. Even if you're telling all, like, your friends and family, like, you guys, I really need a favor from you. Please go in and buy this on the shelf. You need to use your social media. If you can go and do demos, you have to support them with demos. You need to support them with a promotion so they can put it on sale. You need to support them with free samples for their employees. You need to support them with education, and maybe even do a free case at the beginning, right? Just to get anything you can do to get yourself in the door. And you have to show up and keep reiterating what a great partner you're going to be. Come in with a great attitude, a great smile. Like, you are going to bend over backwards for these first few accounts, right? When you're first starting out. So I do highly recommend that you try to make an appointment with the buyer. I will say it's very state specific, very region specific. Some, I have clients in Hawaii and it's just super laid back. Colorado's pretty laid back. For small stores, people seem to be able to pop in and it's not a problem. But definitely, like, if you were in San Francisco, I would be like, do not just do the pop in. Do not. They will not talk to you, and they will never let you come in because they do not like pop ins. Um, so definitely be very mindful of trying to make an appointment ahead of time, arrive on time, be clean, be ironed. Don't wear other people's branded stuff. Either wear your own branded shirts um, or wear just something plain. Do not expect them to taste your product right there. I always want you to bring a sample, full size sample, plus your sell sheet inside a bag. So just get some of those white paper bags. If you have a sticker, put your sticker on it. That's what you want to bring, because sometimes a buyer is not going to try it right then, and they need to be able to like hold everything and easily carry it to the back. Um, Again, you just want to like get creative and be like, listen, I agree. I know I'm new. I know you don't know this product. Here's what I'm going to do to support you. Here's what I'm going to do to make sure it's a great partnership. Um, and then after you meet with them, you want to try to overcome. They're going to have a lot of things for you, right? They're going to want to know about your margins. They're going to want to know about distribution and delivery and cutoff dates and billing, all of those kind of things. And we talk about all of that inside Food Business Success. And we have our group calls that you can join us on and ask us those questions, ask me those questions, ask the group. You also get your one-on-one time with me inside Food Business Success. So I highly recommend. This is probably an area that most of you have not spent any time in. It's very industry specific. When somebody asks you about free fills or FOB or scan backs, I don't want you looking like, you know, like a deer in headlights. I want you to know the answers for that. And that shows a buyer that you are engaged, that you know what you're doing inside this industry. Even though you have a brand new product, that you are up to speed and you know what's happening, right? They don't want to be your mentor. They don't want to train you. They want you to just show up and deliver great service, um, and be a great partner to them, right? So after you meet with them, you want to definitely have their contact information. And then I recommend sending an email that day, thanking them for their time, and remind, hey, we'd love to get an order in for you. It's funny. I had one client, and you just never know. You never know what's going to happen. Like, prepare for them not to taste it, prepare for them to not give you an answer right then. And then you're going to get the ones like I had a client, actually I'll grab their product. So they hustle and bustle, they go in, walk into the store. It's like a little produce shop, and they're talking to the owner, and she just like opens it up right there. She grabs a piece of celery off of the produce wall, and she just like opens it up and like dips the celery in. It's like she eats it right there, and she's like, "Yep, great. Come back and do a demo. If you sell some product, I'll put you on the store, on the shelf," right? So those things can happen, and that's like the really fun part. But also, don't expect that that's how it's going to be all the time. And then just keep following up with them. I recommend every 10 days or so that you send a follow up email. And you really want to present what we call a data story. So when you do follow up with them, have some new nugget of information. Like, we're now carried in 3 more stores, or we've increased our followers, or we've, our farmers market sales have tripled over the last month, or anything that you can say to like support data to back up why you should be on that shelf. There's a great podcast with Doug Helbig. It was last fall. I'm not sure of the number, probably in the teens. But go and listen to that story. It's so great about building a data story. And then in the coming month on the podcast, not next week, but the week after, I'm starting a wholesale series. Hey, Lisa, welcome. So we have a wholesale series starting on the podcast. So I'm going to be interviewing some VP of sales. I'm going to be interviewing some brand owners that have done a great job getting their product into food service and also onto store shelves. So definitely stay tuned to the podcast in the next coming weeks to learn more about sales. If you guys have any questions right now about how to approach a buyer, things that you need to know, we covered a lot here in this video. I'm not giving all the secrets away because some of them you got to come join us over in Food Business Success. Well, thanks, Dina. 16, episode 16. Grow your sales to 1 million and beyond. So if that's what you're working towards, you definitely got to go listen to episode 16 of the podcast. And hey, while you guys are there, well, first of all, while you're here, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel and give me a thumbs up and also leave a comment, just like Lisa did. Appreciate that. So definitely let's keep growing the YouTube channel, but also when you're over on podcasts, be sure to leave me a review. I'd love to give you a shout out on the podcast as well. So lots of great tips here. Like I said, there's a whole module and we really go in deep and into depth, go in and list everything that you need to have on this sell sheet and give you some tools and also give you some more tips and how to talk to buyers. So I hope this was really helpful for you guys. Thanks so much for being here today. Again, I'm Sari Kimball with Food Business Success. You can go check out foodbizsuccess.com. All the links are down below. Would love for you to subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment. All right, until next time, thanks for joining me on Unwrapped, and we'll see you soon.